Yo. Welcome back, baby. We are here on the sideline, the Sideline Guys, the reboot, the hashtag reboot, of course. Our boy Sammy had to come back, and because, I started talking shit about his Boston teams. And he was like, I can't miss this week. And of course, Mike, was suddenly wearing a KD jersey, and I don't know what the hell he's doing right now. And then there's Jeremy with his crazy ass top 10 list. So we're going to get into this, boys.
Come on.
How are y'all doing today, though? Sammy, what's up, bro?
Hey, I know it's been a minute. I'm in the process of moving.
Okay.
I'm moving out to Kansas, so that is why I'm been a little MIA, but it should be back in full swing now.
All right.
So.
Yeah, man. Welcome back.
Good luck with that.
For this reboot. So obviously Sammy and I were part of the previous regime of TSG, but we took it over and brought Jeremy and Mike on to kind of co-host this thing and make it happen. So, Mike, what up? I know you're mad LeBron didn't do shit at the All-Star game.
He ain't got to.
Oh, he ain't got to. Oh, because he a good GM.
Hey, of course. Did you see that tweet? What?
Yeah, he can GM. He can GM. I'm not sleeping on that. What's good with you? Jeremy, what up?
Yo. Can't call it. How you guys doing today?
Good, bro, man. I'm chilling. I'm
Right.
just, getting through this day every day. But
You know.
I have to tell y'all right now. I know, like, Forever doesn't know. Last week we all decided that we were gonna get into who are our top 10 best players in the NBA to this date. So I'm gonna reiterate. This is to this date right now. This ain't no who you think is the best, who's your favorite to this current moment. And Jeremy has some weird omissions and additions and all this crazy shit he's talking about. We are
Come on.
just doing, as of March 8th, who we think is the top 10 in the NBA at this moment. So we're going to swing right into this, boys, and we'll go through each person's top 10 and we'll kind of debate as to what we think and don't think is, a good choice or whatever. So I'm going to pull this right up and we're going straight into Sammy's choices. So obviously we have all four put up. Sammy, I don't know if you want to walk us through your top 10, even though it's kind of up there already. Walk us through each one, kind of tell us why you have, each person there or not there. And then we're going to kind of go through it and see what we think.
Nice. So I really wanted to put Tatum up there because I know Jonathan knows I love Tatum. He's my favorite player, but I would have put him maybe top 15, maybe top 20, but whatever. Dame, it really pained me to leave Dame off of this because I love Dame. He's my dude, but I just couldn't, I see here that someone left off AD, Jeremy. And I just can't do it because to me, he's the best. Like when healthy, to me, he's probably the best big in the league. But he's not healthy right now. So that's kind of why I had him a little bit down. But I mean, we all know LeBron, best player in the league. It's kind of hard to debate that. I mean, year in, year out, people say, oh, this is the year he might slow down. I know y'all were saying, oh, he didn't do anything in the All-Star game, but that's a meaningless game. It is what it is. Like the dude at 35 years old, he is like still in tip-top shape, right? It's insane. He's never gonna slow down, in my mind.
So you do know this is recorded, right? Like you give it. I know you're a LeBron hater, so this is like on record now.
I don't like. I've always disliked LeBron because he used to take it to the Celtics. So I just kind of have disliked him for years. I also know he's a little bit of a crybaby, but what player isn't? He just complains a lot when he's on the court, But I mean, you still got to respect him. He's still the best in the league right now. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be the second best player ever. First is obviously MJ. But yeah, no, I think there's just no debating. LeBron's the best in the league right now. Kawhi, to me, I'll always remember that when he was still on the Spurs and
Talk about
it was basically just him, right? He was kicking the Warriors' ass, right? And then he goes down and they blow the lead and then they lose the series. So to me, I'm like, arguably he's probably okay. Look, when I say this, LeBron's the best overall player in the league right now, but Kawhi might be the best when it comes to like two-way players, right? He is insanely good at offense. He's very, very good at defense. So to me, best two-way player in the league right now. KD, obviously, probably when it's all said and done, he might be one of the most versatile scorers, best scorers in the league ever. He might not have the most points, but he did it every single way. He's unguarded. He's like the one true unguardable player in the league. Very good. And then Giannis, obviously, I always say he's already a top 5 player in the league. Just imagine how good he would be if he had a shot, right? And everyone says that. And it's just crazy to think that someone without a consistent jump shot is in the top 5. And then rounding out my top 5, I don't know if you want to go through the whole top 10. You want to just hear me talk
Yeah,
about
so
it?
I mean, as we go along, boys, take some notes. Let everybody talk about their list, and then ask some questions with your notes after.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sammy. You
Okay. And then, so to me, I mean, you can't not include the best shooter ever, especially considering how the league is today. It's a shooters league, so you got to put the best shooter ever in the top 5. To me, I mean, Curry, he's very, very good. Like, he's one of those type of players that makes everyone around him better. It's a shame. I mean, you're seeing, right, Draymond Green is having a career year because of him. I mean, you saw Draymond's averaging, he's having some games with almost 20 assists a game because of Curry. It's just a shame that Clay hasn't, he's not healthy, because I think if he was, then we're talking about the Warriors being the top 4 team in the West. And also concerning Draymond, he was out for a little bit during the beginning of the year. And then obviously number 6, I see here, this is where a lot of our lists will start to fluctuate. To me, number 6, Jokic, he's going to win MVP, especially considering Simmons and Embiid, right? And I know it's between Jokic and Embiid and LeBron right now, but I'm looking at it this way. If the Lakers and the Sixers and the Nuggets are all healthy, and you take away the best player from each team. So if you take away LeBron from the Lakers, assuming AD is healthy, you still got AD. If you take Embiid away from the Sixers, I mean, you still got Simmons, you still got Tobias, you still have a pretty good coach, you got a good supporting cast. If you take away Jokic from the Nuggets, that team is like a borderline lottery team. They're not good. Jamal Murray is not doing well this year. Jokic is the reason why this team is relevant. I mean, dude I've never in my life seen a big that skilled. Very, very good. Obviously, number 7, Harden. I for the longest time, I used to think, Harden was in the top 5. It might be a little bit of, maybe I lost a little bit of respect the way, he kind of forced his way out of Houston. But then again, who wouldn't want to go play with KD and Irving? That team right now is probably going to win the finals. But I don't know. To me, his style of play, he gets all the accolades, he gets the stats and all, but at the moment, he was the type of player that, he didn't make everyone around him better. He's a great individual player, but hey, he's proven me wrong, right? He's doing well with Irving and KD now. So, and then obviously number 8, Embiid. I just couldn't put. I mean, he's having an MVP type year. I still couldn't put him above any of the guys I put in my 7, because he's the type of player that we've seen. He sort of falls short in the playoffs. It's happened before. Now, it might not happen this year. The Sixers could make it to the finals. They probably won't, because I think they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're probably going to lose against the Nets, but he's the type of player that he's been good every year. He's been an all-star, but he hasn't been consistent when it matters most. And to me, that's going to be the difference between him being a top 5 player and then or not. And then obviously AD, he would have been a lot higher for me, but because I love defense, because he hasn't been healthy this year. Simple as that. I'm sure Jeremy would have included him in his top 10 if he was healthy, but he's not. But then again, he's going to be back in a couple of weeks, so we'll see. And then Luca, pains me to say this, man. He crushed my heart when he hit that dagger against the Celtics. But, I mean, the dude's only 21? And he's this good. He's like Tatum. He is going like he's honestly it's crazy to think that a lot of the players in the league, top players, the young guys are foreign. So I think it's awesome that the game is going global.
Yeah, Greg Popovich
Right.
is loving it right
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah.
Popovich
on.
about that.
And Luca is that he's so young, and I think it's gonna be like he's gonna end up being the face of the league in a few years when all these top guys who are in their 30s are gone, and you know Giannis is in his 30s. I think Luca's gonna be the face of the league, and I think it's great. He gives hope to those type of players who aren't necessarily the quickest, right? His craft is just so good. So that would be my top 10.
All right. I don't know what you guys have questions or little concerns about, but I gotta come out with mine real quick. You feel me? So this is more so kind of agreeing with what you said, but doubling down on it. So with Curry, you have him top 5. Would you say he's having more of an MVP year than his actual MVP years? So the only reason why I say that or ask that is because he always had Clay and Prime Dre with him, right? But he still won MVP those years. He's doing this now without Clay, who obviously took a lot of the defensive load off or handled the best perimeter guy. Is he more so an MVP? I mean, I put him up there as an MVP so far. I mean, you obviously at this point kind of do too with top 5, but would you see him as more MVP than those years or just MVP candidate?
I think the reason no is because the team isn't doing as well this year. Okay. It's probably because, and you have to also remember too, right? Draymond hasn't been playing every single game, especially early on. He missed the beginning of the season. So, right. If the team was doing better, sure. If the team was a top 4 team in the West, but this year the league is too stacked. And it's great. I think it's great for the league because, there's not one or two good teams. There's a lot of good teams. I mean, like I know the Celtics, and I know I'm being a homer here, but I don't think anyone would be like totally shocked if the Celtics picked it up and won the East, right? Granted, I'd be a little shocked, but I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this coming. Or, if the Bucks did it, or even if the Heat started doing well, like this year, the league is so well balanced and I love it. But yeah, I just think it's because of the team's success. They're not doing that well.
Mike, what you got, man? I see the facial expressions. You can hop in and say what you got to say, man. Come on.
He talking about the Celtics winning the East. That just hurt.
I mean, he's a Celtics fan. He's gonna say what he says. But one other thing I'm gonna say real quick though, Kawhi, I will never have above 5, and obviously you see him.
Watch your mouth, man.
And the only reason why, it's a personal vendetta against him. He's boring as hell. Like I know boring shouldn't matter when it comes to rating players great or not. I hate that he's boring, so that's why he'll never be number 2 for me.
You're also crazy for putting Brad Beal in your top 4. I mean, he's a good player.
I'll explain why.
Y'all Buffalo guys is tripping. I don't know what's up with y'all.
Listen, Brad Beal, who?
Yo, so Kawhi's boring, so he can't make the top 5. Tim Duncan is very boring. He's one of the best players ever.
Duncan wasn't boring. He was. Like he was fundamental and stuff, but I enjoyed watching Duncan. He was a 7-foot guy that did shit that like Stockton did. You know what I mean? Like he was balling like that. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I'm saying Kawhi, I ain't feeling that. And one last question I had is, so you have Jokic as MVP, Sammy?
Yes.
To date.
Yes.
So I struggle with that only because I thought like compared him to Embiid, right? So I'm kind of speaking to something else you talked about on your list. You said with Giannis, like Giannis can't shoot. If he shot, he'd probably be number 1 or arguably 2, whatever. But if Simmons is so limited, wouldn't that kind of raise Embiid's level of MVP status? So wouldn't it, in your eyes, like Embiid be that MVP?
No, because to me, it's like how I'm looking at it as. And if we're strictly talking MVP case, not who I ranked higher,
right?
Because I'm looking at your list and I see it, and to me, it reminds of like how you think like your MVP ranking is. But for me, it's not who's having the best year; it's who's having, who is the best right now. And to me, it's like when I'm looking at the MVP ranking now, it's if you take what I was alluding to, right? If you take those players off those teams, I think the Nuggets would be awful. They would be one of the worst teams in the league. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Well, see, that's how it should be. I agree. Like when it comes to MVP candidates, it should always be, if you took that guy off, what would they look like? The reality of it, though, is people never vote that way. Because if they did, LeBron would have 10 MVPs right now. I mean, realistically,
you should. Honestly, you should.
It's
because the league doesn't. And again, I don't think he's ever going to be better than MJ. But I think it's because the NBA cares so much about MJ's image that they don't want LeBron to get close.
Definitely when it comes to voters, for sure, 100%. Jay,
never
Mike,
looked at it that way.
Y'all got any other questions for this man before we move on to the next top 10?
I guess just me personally, as far as Sammy list go, I just wonder why Harden is so low as far as this year go.
Because he's trash.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. But other than that, I don't have no real big issue with it. Everybody know. We talked about it last week. We talked about it. I'm not a big Giannis fan, but I don't have a problem where his placement is. I guess my only thing would be why is Harden so low? That's it.
I think it's because his defense is that limited.
Okay.
I mean, he's not a horrible defender. He doesn't actually get as much credit on defense as he does because he is actually a strong dude. It's just, I don't know. To me, like Curry, is actually an underrated defender. Normally every year he's actually top 3 in the league in steals. He's good off the ball, and that's because Klay Thompson creates so much pressure guarding their best player. I just don't think Harden makes people around him better, and that's why I would put Curry ahead of them.
Okay.
So I think we're ready to move on to Big Mike. Big Mike,
What's up?
Big Mike, what you got for your top 10? I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it compared to mine. We're not too far. I think a couple people are flipped around. I know you don't have Brad Beal, but walk me through yours, brother. Walk me through.
All right, so just off the muscle, the top 3, Bron, KD, and Curry. I really have LeBron and KD like 1A and 1B. That's how I see it. Like I can't really say 1 and 2 because KD has shown he's the equalizer to LeBron. Put him in that situation, he's shown that. So I mean, that's just me thinking effect on team. Curry's close there too because unanimous MVP. Look at what he's doing this year. I mean, averaging 30 and 7, 40% from the 3-point line, almost 90% from the 3, 54% from the field. That's dominant. Like, that's dominant. Nobody's doing that. That's just like top 3 for me. Like, they're going to be top 3 general. Them the only people who could be in the same sentence as LeBron, to me. Kawhi is getting there if he wins with the Clippers, but he's still a dominant guy. How you go to a team, lead the playoff in scoring, and get the finals MVP. That's top. That's like upper echelon superstars to me. The rest of these guys, they're just like, they're great, but what can you do for me? Like Giannis, great guy, back-to-back MVP, defensive player of the year. He's great. He's doing all right this year. He's really going under the radar because he's really more efficient this year. Free throws and other stuff went down, but as far as 2-point efficiency, he's really shooting. He's really playing at a higher clip. So I mean, Giannis, AD's great. I was questioning last year when I first got at OTS. People saying AD top 5. I'm like, when did AD become top 5? Like, because he teamed up with LeBron, that's what make AD a top 5 player. AD's never been top 5 player. But I have him right outside there because he showed up in the playoffs. He did his thing. He played big in the finals. And you could tell whenever he didn't dominate, the Lakers lost. That's the type of impact AD has on the team. Like, can't carry it, but very detrimental. And he was running rate defensive player of the year before he got hurt. So, whatever. Dame number 7. Outside of Curry, Dame the best guard in the league. I don't care if nobody say. Clutchest guard in the league. Get that boy out of Portland. Yeah. To quote LeBron, give Bron Dame and see what they do. And see what happens in LA. I got Embiid at 8. Embiid showed out this year. I really would have Embiid higher, but he let me down last year in the playoffs. Really in the bubble, he let me down. Like I was that whole Boston series, I was like, oh, each close game, yo, Embiid pulled us off, he top 5. Embiid pulled us off, he top 5. And it's not really his fault because he got garbage guards on his team. But nah, man, you gotta dominate, bro. And Embiid can. He just had 40 and 19. Like Boston's the smallest team in the East. If you can't dominate that, if you losing to that, I can't respect you. But he's balling. Jokic could be higher if he played defense. And I mean, I like Jokic. It's a battle between him and Murray, between who's the best on the Nuggets. But Jokic being with his size and just him running point guard, that shit is crazy. Like him leading the league in assists, that shit is crazy. Like that hasn't been done since Wes Unseld in the freaking 70s. Like that shit is crazy. But that's Jokic. My dark horse for number 10, Jimmy. It was really kind of a 3-way tie with Jimmy, Harden, and Luca. But I looked at Jimmy over the last 2 weeks. He got 2 game winners. Some crazy clutch play. Like, yo, Jimmy's top 10. I don't care what nobody say. He carried that Heat team to the finals. Always, he's a winner. Jimmy's a winner. Give me Jimmy over Luca, Harden, Bradley. Give me Butler.
I'm not coming here to play the Xbox.
So I got too many problems with your shit. I got a whole list. This is killing me. Hold on a second. All right,
talk to me.
So how can Jimmy beat? So I understood what he did, right? So Sammy, obviously going against him in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then obviously we all know just watching the finals in general.
I got something to say about that.
Butler has too many instances where he just goes ghost. Like I respect him, he can ball. He's always playing great defense, but out of nowhere, he just gets that 5.1 rebound game where he just disappeared. So for me to put him in top 10. So if you're only talking about his good games, yes. But what's LeBron's bad game? What's Kawhi's bad game? What's KD's bad game?
Impact. Like when Jimmy Butler's there, they're winning.
Culture, impact. I get that. So like, not even statistically speaking, maybe not even win speaking, just like the culture, making people work harder, to keeping them in shape. I get that.
That's Jimmy.
Those games where that man just disappears in full. Like KD's bad game is 25-5. LeBron's bad game is 15, 12, and 11. So. Why is Butler's 5-1-1?
Man, we can't compare Jimmy to LeBron and KD, man. Come on, man.
I'm not, but you got him in the top 10, bro. So if you have in the top 10, for me to have in the top 10, why he can't disappear like that? You feel me?
Bradley Beal disappears.
Not this year. So we're talking current top 10, right? Jeremy Butler, after he hit that game winner, you want to know what his stat line was? A single triple.
Top 10 was up.
He was single triple. So he was under 10 everything that next game. That's my point. It's like he gives you that. And you're like, yo, Butler's, man, he's a baller. Yo, yeah. Boom. Out of nowhere, he's dropping nothing. I'm like, dude, and the thing is, he's crazy. He's in shape. He always works out. I don't know what it is.
I like Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is a good player. He's a good player.
So for me, he's like a low number 2. I would never want him as my number 1 on the squad. Because
he definitely a top 10 player.
Top 10 for me is like someone you want number 1, right?
I don't even think he's the best player on this team.
AD and Giannis not a number 1.
8 right now? Well, I mean 8. So I mean AD, obviously LeBron's number 1 on the squad, but I'm saying AD can be
AD and Giannis. If Giannis got on the team with KD, Giannis wouldn't be better than KD.
Most of the time, those players aren't matching up. KD's the number 1 with Harden and Kyrie there, and most people have Harden in their top 10. I mean, definitely levels like
the upper echelon. Like
I see. Sammy, what you have for us, man? I hope you're with me on this, please.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I don't even think Butler's the best player on this team. I think Bam is. And you want to say he carried them to the finals? I don't remember him ever like taking over a game against the Celtics. I think it was more Bam that like he was going off that series. He was going like to me, Bam like or I don't know the right words, but I think Bam like put himself on the map that series. To me now, I'm like, okay, Bam could be a star. I mean, if anything, he already is a star. He's a guy that no one talks about, right? Because he's pretty much like a poor man's Jokic. He just can't shoot, right? So, I mean, like, to me, I do think Bam's the best player on that league team. If you want to talk about a player being in, like, the top 15 or 20, I think you could make an argument for Bam. I don't think you could make that argument for Butler. I think right now, and I know John was like alluding to this, like I would never want Jimmy Butler on my team as like the 1 or 2, or maybe the 2, right? Low end 2. Like to me right now, I think Jaylen Brown is on. I know I'm talking about the Celtics because it's the only team I really watch, right? But to me right now, like Jaylen Brown is better than Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
this current date, Mike. Okay,
right now,
you gotta focus on this current date.
Yeah,
this exact moment. I 100% agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown are both better than Jimmy Butler right now. Like
Mike, this
March
whole year
7th,
so far, Jaylen Brown hasn't disappeared like that, bro. That's the only. So Sammy, if Butler didn't have,
what's the Celtics record?
We're talking about like triple single. They're ahead of the Heat.
By a game. Come on.
I mean, but you asked about the record. You asked. They're still better. Sammy, let me ask you this: if Butler never has those games where he disappears fully, do you have him? You argue for your
I don't know. Like because like when it mattered the most, and again, I know the Celtics didn't win, but when it mattered most, Jaylen Brown and Tatum like ascended to that stardom level. I think Jimmy Butler took a back seat that series to Bam, as he should have, because Bam was taking over that series. Right. But to me,
Jimmy was injured too.
How did they ascend when they lost?
I understand. I just don't think Jimmy Butler has it in him to be a top 10 player in the league anymore.
I'm 100% with you. After what he did against Milwaukee, even after what he was doing against the Lakers, even after what he was doing against the Celtics. What?
But Mike, that's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about right now, though.
Even if you go back, though, Sammy, like we go back to the finals. Yeah. Butler did great. Was it game 2? No, 3.
That's the game they won, right? The one.
Whatever they won. And the next game, he's dropped. I think he only had like 10 and 5. Like that. That's not superstar to me.
Also, I mean, he was guarding LeBron.
Well, I mean, he's in top 10. You're arguing he's getting there or near there.
No, I made it clear with my list. Top
so straight 3 up elite. Yeah,
he did say that. That's elite. Like these other guys, it's just the rest. Like, hey.
So especially like you put him over Harden, I just don't see it.
Harden chokes. Get out of here.
I'll listen. I'll tell you right now, save all of the Harden slander for me. I got it. Don't you worry about that.
I think we should.
Parker wouldn't like that, but he's gonna love this. But anyway, so one last question for you, Mike, and if anybody else has a question, that's cool. But why do you have LeBron 1A and KD 1B? So I have LeBron 1 flat, like period, right?
Mm-hmm.
KD proven that he can be a 1A, or even
right now.
To this date, I mean, so to this date, right? Like he's won the chips with the Warriors, but they were a stacked super team, right? Before the Warriors, he couldn't win. He literally lost against LeBron. Why do you put him 1A with that? I just like even winning with the Nets won't be even with the way they're constructed now.
And Mike, remember, he's talking about right now.
Yeah, no, see now with the Nets, the whole deal with the Nets to me, like I've been saying this since the Heat lost in the finals last year. It's like, oh, KD healthy, Brooklyn, LA in 7. I've been saying that. How Brooklyn just threw this team together now, I really don't think they getting out the conference finals. Like that's just me. Like I really don't think that now, especially adding Harden and Blake Griffin. I don't think that. But back to your original question, like 2017 and 2018, it showed me like whatever LeBron did, KD canceled that 2017. 2017, Kyrie and Kevin Love both averaged 20 points. Kyrie led the team in scoring, averaged 29. Nobody would have known that. Well, you wouldn't have thought that they were scoring like that because KD was on that team and he gave them that extra 35. Like, boom, 5 points. 5 games, easy work. Like, you can't just drop a regular guy in that type of situation and think that they won't flourish. The fact that he went to the unanimous MVPs team and proved that he was better than the MVP. Like, it showed a lot. Like,
Man,
to me,
you know what it is? I just don't like him. Like I look at him and I just say I don't fucking like it. Like his face.
Yeah, me and your brother was just arguing about this yesterday.
Listen, that snake. It shouldn't affect my just pure basketball thoughts, right? Because hooping has nothing to do with it.
Man is great.
But it does. I don't care. I will never put him one. LeBron could be retired right now, and I will make sure I put Bradley Beal number 1 before I put KD. I just can't do it. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. But I understand the hooping side. So obviously, straight hooping wise, he's great. Showed he can even play defense on the Warriors as well. I think they taught him that, for the most part, because they play great team defense. But
defense is effort, man.
I tell you what, he's got to at the very least. Because I almost see it as disrespect to LeBron. Because right now, KD beat LeBron in the finals, but that's with the stacked 73-win team.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to give KD credit for that. This year,
this year is more equal.
I don't need him to win, but show out the way you did, with the Warriors, and then maybe I'll respect the 1A, 1B. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at. But Jay, what you got? What you got, man? Any questions?
Nah. I actually like the Butler on the list because it stirs up emotions. So I liked it.
Pissed me off.
I like the Butler admission. The rest of the list I'm cool with. I'm okay with the list. I would have had Dame higher, but other than that, I'm okay. All
right, okay. I think boys are ready to move on to Jeremy. Right back to you, bro. Come on, man. Look, your top 10. I don't even let you. You got to give all your prerequisites and all this other shit you were talking about. So why you don't have certain people in there? But go ahead, do your thing.
So listen, guys, we're talking about the top 10 players right now, if healthy. So if you look at my list, you see that I don't have Anthony Davis on there. You know why? Because he's not healthy. You see that I don't have Kevin Durant on there, although he's coming back, but he hasn't been healthy. So I took them off completely. Now, let's just say that they were healthy. Both of them will be on my list. Very high on the list, but neither one of them are there. So I took them off, and I added other players just because I feel like they're doing good this year. So let's start with number 1, consensus, LeBron James. I am not a big LeBron James fan overall, but I respect his game that much. He's great. I would never take that away. What he does for his team, and quite frankly, what he do for the NBA outside of the league. Outside of the court. He's LeBron James, and I would never argue that with no one. Right now, LeBron James is the best player in the league. Number 2 for me is Kawhi Leonard. I've been a part of the OTS for a while, and I've always put Kawhi up there as my favorite player. I've never deviated from it. I'm not going to deviate from it. And even still, with him not being on my team anymore, he's still putting up numbers. Like Sammy said, he's the best 2-way player in the league, to me.
No, sir.
I love Kawhi. Number 3. Now this is where things start getting interesting.
Just piss me off.
So Harden to me, he might be the first, second best scorer in the league right now. I believe that I didn't like how he got out of Houston. I didn't like that one bit. He chose to let his body go. He didn't want to play. He put his teammates under the bus. I didn't like any of that. but he went over to Brooklyn and he got himself right back into shape. And I personally believe that with the caliber of players that he has now, that he has made them better. I believe that. I believe that Kyrie is better off the ball than he is on the ball because of because of Harden. And then he still showed that he could take over a game at any time. So that's just my thinking. I would like to see them in the playoffs, and I would like to see what he does in the playoffs. He can't have another choke job like he has for years at a time. He can't do it. But like I said, keep in mind we're talking about right now. So he's my number 3. Number 4, I think Damian Lillard don't get enough credit. I don't think he get enough pub. I don't know what it is. Maybe because it is Portland, but he's an assassin. Damien Lillard is a fucking assassin. He's the most clutch player in the league. The man pulls up from anywhere on the court, and then he'll taunt you on your face, and then come back and do it again. You can't. There's nothing that you could do to stop Damian Lillard. Could his defense be a little better? Of course, but you could say that about a whole bunch of superstars in the league. So I think if Dame was in a big city, let's just say New York, John. Let's just say Dame was in your city.
Don't get me excited, man.
Let's just say he was in your city. The amount of publicity that he would be getting would be astronomical, especially with what he's doing right now. You know, he needs to leave. He needs to leave Portland. He needs to leave Portland today and go to a city that's going to let him ring out on top of his music. So yeah, Dame number 4 for me. Number 5, I think Jokic is the most skilled big man that we might have ever seen. I think his defense does lack. That's a big problem, but everything else that he does is second to none at the position that he plays. The man could shoot. The man could pass. He's the ultimate team player. You know, he's the ultimate team player. I really like Jokic, and I struggle with him, Embiid, or excuse me, or AD being the best big man in the league because all 3 of them are that good. And you know, Jokic is he's really good. I like him a whole lot. As we talked about before, number 6, Embiid. Right now, if the season ended, he'll be my MVP. What Doc Rivers has done to unlock his game is masterful. So a lot of that goes to Doc Rivers, but a lot of that goes to Embiid for actually listening to what the hell he got to say. Get your big ass down there, play in the paint, let the outside game come to you. Years ago, Embiid would just he'll take the ball up like a point guard and stop and shoot. Who the hell do you think you are? No, get down low, play your game, and then let the other stuff grow around you. And he's done that masterfully this year. And right now, like I said, the season ended, Embiid would be my MVP. Giannis, like I just said, I'm not a huge Giannis fan. I respect his game, but he has to develop a shot. I don't understand just the playing in the paint thing. I don't understand how he does it so well. So I do respect that, but you run into teams that could just pack the paint, and then what? How do you counter that? He doesn't have a counter for that. So he needs a counter for that. But two-time MVP, he's up there. He's top 10, definitely. I think number 8, Curry. I think I have Curry down where I have him at. Number 1, just because he was out last year, and I want to see him dominate. He's dominating, but I want to see him get back to, like I would love to see him with Klay Thompson. I would love to see what he do there, with a healthy Klay Thompson. Also, I believe that I have Curry so low because honestly, I'm a 2K player and I hate what he's done to that video game.
We talk about Jeremy and I play 2K religiously. We do the my player, go to the corner, all that shit. We get so mad when people just dribble at the top of the key and do that stupid Curry shit. Play basketball. Oh my god, bro!
Curry slide.
Yeah, man.
Hezzy Curry.
Literally.
But Steph Curry, best shooter ever. I think when it's all said and done, that he could go down as a top 20 player ever, just for what he has done for the game. He's changed the game. He's
top 10 player ever.
It's true. I can get behind that. He's changed the game. So
Tim Duncan spot.
Number 9. If I was to start an NBA team right now, my number 1 pick would be Luca Dodgey. He has the age with him. He's only 21. He has the basketball ability, and then he has the world behind him. He's a global superstar. He's not just an NBA superstar. He's a global superstar. One thing that worked in his favor is that he's been playing professional basketball since 14, 15 years old, something of that nature. And his game, he crossed the ocean. His game translated, and it translated as much better than anybody probably ever thought. I don't know what's going on with the Mavs this year, but he started off slow and he's now picking it up. And yeah, I would love to. I would start a team with him right now. That would be my number 1 player. And then number 10, Bradley Beal. So we're talking about right now. We got the top scorer in the NBA. He hasn't taken a day off. There's no defense for what Bradley Beal is doing right now. Not one, nothing. Even when Westbrook stinks it up, you can still look at Bill's stat sheet. He's still putting up 34 and 5 and 5 or something like that. Like we knew Bradley Beal was a real good player. I think this year he's showing that, you can start a team with me and I will take you there. I think that's what he's showing right now. At my 10th spot also, I struggled because I wanted to put Levine up there because we're talking about right now. I wanted to put Levine in there. We're talking about right now, Mike. We're talking about right now.
It's right now.
It's right now. Right now, you can't tell me that Zach LaVine's not at least a top 15 player. Right now.
Definitely top 15. This top 10.
No, but remember, I prefaced my joint by taking players out that were injured, so that moves him up. Mm-hmm. So,
even if you have at 15, you go straight to 13 with those two guys.
I struggled with Bill, Tatum, and Levine, but I think what Bill is doing right now, no one can sleep on. We can't come over that, and I hope that he changes his mind and wants to leave and go to a contender because he deserves that.
Not contender, but he can come to the Knicks.
Yeah, he deserves that.
Man,
you're a homer, man.
Of course I am. So I don't have much issue with it with the the omits or whatever. But so are KD and AD your only omittals?
Yeah, those are my only 2 omits.
Okay, so where do they land in your top 10, and who comes out of it?
So
do you just literally slide down and take out Doncic, Beal?
In my original list, I had KD, I think 3, which means Bill would have slid off the list.
Okay.
So then, if I'm not mistaken, AD was number 5, which means that the list would have went down also from there. So AD was my number 5, and Kevin Durant was my number 3.
So Doncic and Beal would just slide out, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, go.
Sure.
How do you have James Harden at number 3 and Steph Curry at number 8? Are we basing this off records? because Curry numbers are way better than Harden.
Mhm.
Harden got a way better team. Like, how are we doing this right now?
Harden definitely has the way better team. Curry. I look at this. I look at it from this point. So James Harden got traded, right? And their team, besides like the first maybe 2 weeks or something like that, they haven't missed a step. Not only that, Harden is still putting up the same numbers that he put up in Houston with 2 other superstars around him. That's
24 and 11. That ain't 3 and 10. And Curry averaging 40% from 3. Harden can't sniff 40% from the 3. He couldn't sniff it.
Curry also doesn't have the people around him that Harden has. So he's expected to stay. Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Curry doesn't have the people around him that Harden has. So he's expected to get 30, 35, 40 every night to keep his team afloat. Harden doesn't have to do that. He's doing that. He's doing that with superstars around him. I guess that's my only thing. Like, I just want to see
us open up the floor for Harden, right?
So I want to chime in here real quick, Jared. And I don't think Curry is better, or I do think Curry is better than Harden. But I'm gonna support Jeremy's argument here. Both years, and I know we're talking about right now, but both years that Harden won MVP, he never had an all-star teammate.
He had one MVP. He had Chris Paul. That's an all-star. Stop it.
No, but they were not all-stars that year.
They won 60 games.
I understand, but they were not all-stars that year. That's what the argument I'm trying to.
I see what you're saying, Sammy, for sure. I mean, literally was not an all-star that year. I think that was Chris Paul's injured year.
I was going back and forth with my friends about this too, and I guess as well as Harden has played in Houston, name one person that was just as good as him. It wasn't Russell. It wasn't CP3. It wasn't nobody. He's finally getting to play. Like, if LeBron could play with people as good as him, Harden should be able to do it too. And Harden's proving that there's no leveling off with 2 other players that's as good as him.
I'm reading
so I guess that's just my argument.
It says Jeremy Clark. Okay, it doesn't say Parker Gailey. Sounds like a lot of Parker Gailey right here.
It does.
Yo, it's so much Harden positivity. Listen,
it's disgusting.
I just don't understand.
He's good, y'all. He's a good player.
Great. He's great. He's great. Don't get that twisted.
Anybody else have any other questions for Jeremy before I go?
Yes.
Talk a top 10.
Yes.
I have one question for you, Jonathan. Actually,
yeah.
What system do you play 2K on?
Both, but Jeremy and I play mostly on Xbox.
What? Xbox One or X?
What's that?
Xbox One or X?
What are we on, Jay? I'm on the S. The S, I think. Yeah.
It's the one. It's the one.
So the new
one.
I
got the Xbox One. So.
Hey man, we gotta send names, gamer tags. I'm on Xbox too.
Okay, we on.
But that's all I'm saying is I have a.
What do you guys?
I don't know if you're on Xbox One or Xbox like next gen. I have a guy on both, so if you ever want to link up, let me know.
Yo, well, hold on. First of all, if everybody got a right player, we playing tonight.
Let's go,
man. We could get it.
Go.
Hold on. Let's keep up with this podcast real quick, and then we'll get to the sharing the gamer tag shit like that. But hold on.
I have one more question for Jeremy. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
It's for you, and it's kind of for John and Jeremy. Bradley Beal in the top 10 because he's the league leading scorer on a losing team is ridiculous. Like, y'all were the people who was calling Kevin Love a superstar, huh?
It's right now.
We talk about right now.
They're on fire right now, Mike. They won like 9 out of 10.
I'm saying right now.
Right now, they've won like 9 out of 10.
And they still out the playoffs. Good for them. I'm proud of them.
So because he's out of the playoffs, doesn't make him a top 10 player right now?
I don't
Top 10 players go to the playoffs, sir. Show me a top 10 player who missed the playoffs.
Typically they do, but
on a healthy team. Because I'm about to say, I know somebody's going to be like LeBron 2 years ago. I knew it was coming. I just want on a healthy team. You can't tell me a top 10 player is missing.
The Wizards just have a bad. Mo Wagner's paying center for the fucking
hold on.
Wizards
Keep
right
talking.
now.
Keep talking. Yeah, keep saying that. Yeah,
Mike,
they got a team.
Mike,
Nobody else going to
you one. I'll give you a name right now. The Warriors are out, and you have Curry very high on your list. I'm not saying he's not. I don't believe Beal is a top 10 player, but I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
But the Warriors in
That's right, Sammy. Let him know.
They're in the playing game. At least the Warriors in the playing game. Like they're in the nice.
Will be there too, bro. Bill's hooping.
You don't know that. You don't
Wizards
Bill
will
hooping, man.
Bill hooping, dude.
Yo, Bill is hooping. I seen him play in the AAU tournament with my brother in Arkansas. He's the best baller I've seen up close in person. Bill is a baller. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's like the Kevin.
Top 10.
It's like the Kevin Love thing. Like
Also, Bradley Beal, he's going to be a Celtic in the next few years. Calling it now.
Man, stop trying to take. Listen, you know what? This is my hopeful Knicks stuff or whatever. But
anyway, John, you can get on with your list.
I get it. All right, look. So let's we got to move on to the Harden slander top 10. I'm gonna get to why Harden's not in mine in a second, but I'll just go through each one and we'll talk about why. So, are we all good on Jeremy's? Everybody got what they had to get out.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, of course, LeBron, number one. I have said since day one, I've said this in playing 2K with Jay. I've said this to all my friends. I'm all about the MVP being the best player and the most impactful player on that team. If you take him out, what happens? Every team LeBron has left, they've turned to shit. Now, can you blame LeBron and because he built his team around him, and then obviously the team just ends up being shit when he's not there? You can't blame him. You won chips out of it. You got to be happy. But LeBron, today, tomorrow, yesterday, 41 years old, will probably still be top 5. LeBron. There's nothing else you can really say about it. For me, Embiid, I like two things out of Embiid. Yes, he's resting more, but also he's staying in shape. For me, the biggest thing for him, he couldn't even though he's resting every other 5 games, whatever. That's one thing. But Rivers has always been about giving players rest. I mean, he did it with Kawhi and PG, and that's why they end up sucking in the playoffs. But that's a whole other story. He's in shape. He's balling. He's down. He's hitting the post like Jeremy said. He's playing how he should as a center. I mean, I'd rather him start inside and go outside than start outside and go inside.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, he's got the mid range. He's got the 3-point shot. I get that. But everything he's doing this year, he's my MVP to this date. LeBron having that little 4 out of 6 losing streak, or not streak, but 4 out of 6 losing games, and struggling a little bit with that. I think he's a little winded. He just came out the finals. Obviously, whoever played last is going to be the most tired. The Heat are seeing the same issues. You know what I mean? So Embiid right now could end up being LeBron. I think if you take Embiid off the Sixers now, they're bad. Like I don't like Simmons at all. Personally, I think he's a great passer, all that stuff, great defense.
Great Simmons,
he can't carry. And the thing is, Embiid, the fact he's MVP is showing that he's the center of that team. You know what I mean? In my opinion. So you take him out, then I don't think they're that good. But 3, El Snake, of course. Even though I hate him, I'm still going to put him in the top 3. I'm with Mike for sure in terms of putting these guys on kind of their own. I mean, Embiid maybe is not there yet. If he, consistency is the thing with him, but KD and LeBron are on that same level ish. They're both top players, can score at will. They've been diamond. Even KD's been playing a little bit of point guard in Brooklyn too, just kind of pushing the ball up like he did in OKC. So I like that. He's KD's all around. I can't front on that. He can play defense. He can. He's been taking some of the best players on the other side. I respect that 100%. Honestly, KD doesn't tear that Achilles in the finals, they probably win that shit. The Warriors. Let's be real. It's probably 3 straight finals MVPs.
Because James Harden couldn't beat them without KD, bum ass.
We'll get to why he's not on my list. That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
4 for me is my man Bradley Beal. Now, hear me out. So, for me, I always thought Bradley Beal is one of the one of the best defenders in the league. Period. I don't know how if you guys ever watched him focus on his game, focus on anything. He's an elite defender. So for
And
me,
rebounder.
and oh yeah, for a guard, hell yeah, definitely.
Yes, yes.
Defender, rebounder. That's how he came into the league. He was drafted to do that, and then the scoring will come. Is what they said. Well, the
Yep.
scoring's here. So if he's already top of the elite in the other two, and he's dropping 33, he's got to be top 5 for me. That right away. That's what I thought of. The record hurts, but I mean, like I said, their squad's trash, bro. Mike, you know Mo Wagner, right? You remember him?
Yeah.
The Lakers.
Yeah.
Michigan.
What? When LeBron was there that first year, what number on the depth chart was he? And be honest.
He was on the team.
That proves my point. He was number 15. He was the 15th man on the bench.
Hey, yo, I didn't even know he
He's
was
starting for the Wizards now. So I'm not putting records against Brad Beal when they have a 15th man on the bench starting at center. That ain't happening for me. I ain't
Brad
doing it.
Beal over Dame.
Brad Beal over who?
Dame.
So that's what I struggle with too. And I'm gonna get to. So I'm the biggest Dame apologist. So people think I'm a LeBron fan, like just a straight LeBron fan in OTS. I'm a straight up Dame fan. Like I'll say shit to defend Dame that doesn't make sense, but then they got to be real about it too. So
He's great, man. He is so great.
Brad Beal, listen, he is, and I'm gonna get to that. And obviously, not putting Dame against Kawhi and Curry is their own reasons. You know what I mean? But for me, Beal's right now, this current date right now, put Beal on my squad in a heartbeat. Put Beal on the fucking Lakers right now, and I guarantee the win over the Brooklyn in 5.
Facts.
It'd be over. It'd be over. That defense with the scoring, with Beal not having to do as much scoring because he's obviously with LeBron and AD. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
GG.
So, it'd be a wrap. So number 5, even though he's boring as hell and I hate it, I don't want to say it. Got Kawhi, best two-way player in the league. I'll say it straight out because I think was it Sammy or my who said best two-way? It was Jeremy. Jeremy said best two-way or arguably.
Sammy said it too.
Jeremy, yeah. Listen, hands down, best two-way player in the league. Period. Right now to this date, LeBron's getting older. He's not doing his perimeter defense no more. But I will say LeBron is playing great on defense this year.
I was about to say top 5 in defensive win shares. LeBron is
bro. LeBron. So I'll say this: it's not LeBron's normal lockup, though, right? Like I think he's playing better team defense, better rotation, trying more. Like, but he's not doing his normal like I'm gonna go take Kobe on the other side. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Lakers are still number 1 defense in the league.
Hell yeah! Oh, no, all respect to his defense. But I'm saying he's not defensive player of the year.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
But he's definitely great. So
let me cut you off right quick. If Kawhi wasn't asked to focus on his offense as much as he does now, Kawhi Leonard will definitely be the best on-ball defender in the league and the best on-ball defender that we've seen in
Kawhi also hasn't been in shape much. Yeah, if y'all really focus on him, man, he's a breathing extra hard. And honestly, the problem is he brought PG-13. I don't know why he brought Paul George thinking he's going to take the load off of him and let him play more defense. That's PG just disappears. We all know that. So 6th for me, Curry. Obviously, you got to have him in the top 10. He's going to be shit, boys. I put him top 10 all time if he keeps this up. Like he's not done, right? He's got 8-9 years left, probably, because his game can fit for a while.
Because his game goes for it. Yeah, he got a long time.
Wow, I mean, he can really hit that top 10, boys. You're talking about the greatest shooter of all time, the guy that changed basketball.
Right, he already top 10. I be telling people, I take Tim Duncan off the list.
That's not a bad thing to say. I mean, someone.
That's
not yet.
Topic for another day.
We can go to all time. All time could be another podcast. That's for damn sure. But you can't have Curry not in your top 10, man. Honestly, I debated putting him at 4 for Beal, easily, 5 for Kawhi. Curry slept on defense too. He's a good off-ball defender, not on-ball. Off-ball defender. He plays the lanes well. He knows when to picks his spots on defense. He's not bad. Dame Lillard, I struggle putting him at 7. I am the biggest fan of Dame, period. Always have been. His defensive struggles, and honestly speaking to a little bit of what Butler is, there's sometimes where Dame disappears a little bit and you just kind of like, yo, where he at? But he makes it up for his clutchness. Like Jeremy, you say he's probably the most clutch player in the league.
He's the best. He's the most clutch player in the league right now.
That is a statement because there ain't no question about it. I mean, hands down, the man is hitting shots that you never think anybody could hit. Maybe just Curry, but in the moment, only Dame is doing that. I'm telling you right now, only Dame's doing that in the moment. So Jokic, whoever you say his name. Honestly, y'all are convincing me to put him in the MVP talk. So I'm really looking like I was, while y'all talking, I was pulling up different stats and stuff on the computer and whatnot, and he might be there for me. He might be top 3 in MVP votes by the end of it. I mean, listen, if he carries that squad and Jamal keeps struggling, you can see him win an MVP. I could, 100%. So easily in my top 10 in that scenario. Giannis, I struggle with him like all you guys kind of struggle with him. I think we all relatively have him close. I mean, I'm 9, but you guys have him like what? Jeremy 7. We got Mike 5 and Sammy 4.
Back-to-back MVP, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not have a back-to-back MVP on your thing. The only thing is, when like to this date, definitely more efficient. The free throws and the shooting is killing me though, man. He's got to get free throws. I'm not really worried about because even LeBron struggled back, earlier in his career. He struggled with a high percentage or at least an average percentage with free throws. It's the air balls, man. It's the plays where you're like, yo, you're a grown ass man playing MVP back to back.
Right.
You got to get some kind of like wiggle to your game or, a move, like something more than just diving in and trying to. They ain't gonna work forever, bro. You can't be athletic forever. You know what I mean? So maybe he works on it. I don't know. He at least needs a shot. Something that's if they leave you wide open. And then 10, I got AD. I didn't speak to, obviously, I didn't focus on health issues or anything like that. So I struggled even putting him in it. And I only say this because for AD, for me, he is so uncoordinated sometimes. You guys ever notice that? Like watching him, it seems like he's just flopping all around when they try to lob him the ball in the post.
I think that's why he gets injured so much.
I think so too. I think he's just not coordinated, and I don't know if it's just lack of training or just that's just how he is because he was a guard that got so big. Remember back in college,
he was a guard.
Or late high school, he was a point guard. He just shot up for Kentucky. So I just struggle to really put him in it. I mean, his defense is great. I don't really see like he's like a boring scorer, so I guess that's probably why I don't see him as a great scorer. But he could drop 30 at a clip whenever he wants, but he don't really have a large offensive repertoire for me to say he's top 5. You know what I mean? Like he's not there. The coordination kills me. I don't think he has that, bro. I think he can post up. I definitely think he can post up.
Hit the midi, hit the 3.
The midi, the 3 ain't as consistent as you think. The 3 ain't as consistent as you think. I think I'm talking move wise though. So not really just can he shoot mid range, low, can he shoot high? He don't really have no game. Does that make sense? Like I don't.
No, I don't.
Certain skill wise, like moves. So like, who can I like Jokic? I feel like he has a lot more skill than AD.
Well, I think Jokic is. I think he's the most skilled big man in the league.
So that's but if AD had some of his skill set, I think that's the AD's top 5.
How many times y'all seen Jokic hitting the fadeaway? Post fade.
Plenty of times.
I
mean, not in the finals, but he doing it. He ain't doing it. Mike, he ain't doing that.
No.
Jokic's not balling like that.
No, Jokic ain't got no moves, bro. He ain't got no moves.
Yo, you're crazy.
Motor fakes, no.
Jokic got, bro. Sammy, please, you got to.
But okay, Mike. AD was a guard, so he has all that embedded in him already.
but he.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't agree though. I think AD let that shit go when he's got big, bro. He didn't work. That's high school shit. If he was doing that in high school, he ain't bringing that to the league. Once he got big and started playing power forward center, bro, that was it. He don't got it like that. I'm telling you right now. He can still ball. He can still score. He can still play defense. He's great. I'm never gonna say he's not great. I'm not gonna discredit that, but I don't think he has the skill set of Jokic. He does not.
Oh, man.
I give Embiid more of a skill set than AD.
He's just a better passer. AD is better offensively and defensively. Are we serious?
But that's not skill set, Mike. I'm
better passer than who?
He's more athletic than Jokic. Yes, he plays better defense than Jokic. Yes, but I'm telling you right now, Jokic has better offensive skills, hands down.
Oh man.
Overall
All right.
packages, bro. That's like saying like Jamal Crawford's package. We all know Jamal Crawford's a fucking hooper. He can do anything on the court. Period. I'm not putting nobody up to him except Curry and Dame. Like Jamal Crawford's skill set, I'm talking. I ain't talking like how good they are in actual all-time status, but Jamal Crawford's skill set, his packages. Nobody's seeing that in guard wise except Curry and Dame. Maybe Kyrie.
That's
Kyrie,
dribble
yeah.
moves. AD got moves.
Moves, shot,
I'm telling y'all.
step back.
Y'all stupid.
80 don't
AD
got moves like that. You don't got it, bro. He's so uncoordinated. I
Is he
will
fake
literally go back to multiple games I remember him playing, and there's times he's losing the ball out of nowhere or turning it over or can't get the can't post up a guard. Sammy, I know you've seen that shit, bro. Come on, man. There'll be times AD struggles to set himself in the post because he can't stay coordinated. That's not skill to me.
Too thin.
That's
He's
not skill
too
to me.
thin.
Maybe it's too thin. I don't know what it is. Either way, though, this coordination or lack thereof is what's killing him, Mike. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Y'all know AD. Y'all know AD share my birthday, right? Our birthday is March 11th.
I respect it. I respect it, bro. I'm just telling you,
bro.
he is one of the best players in the league. I'm never gonna say he's not, but I'm talking straight skill set, offensive packet wise. He ain't got it like that, bro.
Look at the numbers AD has been putting up. How you think he's been
balling, but the thing is, he can still ball without the biggest packages in the world. Tim Duncan ain't really had packages. What did he do? He posts up. And he do.
And AD ain't posting people up. He's killing you with the mid range. Oh, fadeaway.
I mean, he's doing good with it. Yeah, but that ain't his dominant play, bro. He plays off somebody else. He plays off LeBron. He don't play off LeBron. It ain't always just give it to AD. What happened with AD? Just give it to AD.
He's always giving AD.
What? And what happened when there was no LeBron?
I mean,
nothing.
He ain't happy with his no LeBron.
He didn't have it like that, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. He don't have it all like that. He's great. He's my top 10. I have him right here. But he ain't all that.
Bradley Beal the Curry game.
I think like so how I'm gonna support this argument basically is it's like the same you're saying or we're saying that you know Kawhi best two-way player in the league right now, but he's not the best player. You know, like I think that's the type.
It's kind of like where I'm at. Yeah. So like AD can still be great, but he's just not the best player because of X, Y, and Z, which is the skill set I'm speaking of, bro. I'll tell you what. Give me Jokic everything as far as offensive skill set wise, and put it with AD's everything else. And
he'd be the best player in the league.
Best player all time. Best player all time. All time. All time.
I'm about to.
And AD lacks a lot of fundamentals, bro. Put Tim Duncan's. Put the fundamental into AD along with AD's everything else. Best player in the league again, bro. He's missing something. Watch it, Mike. You just be happy that you fucking with
dog.
I get it.
He missing a dog. That's what he missing.
So everything you're speaking to is what I'm speaking to too, though. But he's missing something. That's a problem.
Jokic
don't got it, bro. This man don't even understand what dog is, bro. He just goes out there and plays. What you mean? Yeah, he got it.
I couldn't see it, man. They don't conference finals.
Mike, you can't.
I couldn't see that.
No,
I didn't see that. Just go out there and play,
bro. These European dudes, they don't see things that way. They don't like Doncic. Don't give a fuck about the pressure. This man been hooping since 15 in professionals. Come on, man. They don't care about that shit. You can't speak a dog. I'm talking skill set.
I'm talking about the will to win. Jokic ain't showed me no will to win.
You know what? Then maybe he builds that on. But I'm telling you right now, AD's missing something for me to ever put him in the top 5.
I agree with that. AD missing something.
That's
we talking about
number 10.
Jeez, bro.
He's missing a lot. He ain't got it all for me. That's all I'm saying. But
all right, well, I got a question.
All right, what's up?
I really don't understand how you have Beal over Curry and Dame. Like, I don't understand that.
And this is again, I kind of spoke to it. Speaking to this date, I am not going to leave Brad Beal out when he's doing something that most MVP, like he arguably could win MVP if he didn't have that record. Like, that's MVP shit. Like, he's hooping, bro. He's still playing the best player on the other squad because we know Westbrook don't play defense, and he's still carrying the offense. He's hitting clutch shots. Sammy, what is it? The other night when you guys ended up winning against Beal, but how many times did Beal take the lead and you probably were like, "Fuck, we lost." If not for
too many times, and they only won by like 1 point or
1
something.
point. I think I'll victor or some shit. Yeah.
Tell them how the Celtics won the game. What did Bradley Beal do at the end of the game?
I mean, you can't really say he's the one that lost it, right?
No,
Like it's
just in his hands, he couldn't win it. So how he wasn't the one that lost?
Man is hoop. You gonna sit here and tell me Bradley Beal ain't hooping, bro?
I didn't say that, but his numbers aren't better than Curry.
To this day, I put him over Butler. The fact you have Butler over Beal right now is ridiculous.
Yeah, Butler wins.
We're talking about wins. What? They're not winning either. I'll talk about to this current moment.
They're in the playoffs. Washington.
The Wizards are gonna make it too, though.
They're gonna make it too, though.
No, they're not.
Yes,
they still the Hawks.
They're gonna get better record than the Hawks.
Come on, man.
No, bro. Brad Beal is hooping. What's up?
I want to hear this. I want to hear this Harden slander. I don't understand why y'all don't have him.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I don't need to go too deep because I speak a lot in the OTS group about how much I hate Harden, but Harden to me has failed so many times over these so many years in the playoffs. I can't ever have him in my top 10, bro. It's like, yeah, you're great. You're dropping all these points. You're getting an MVP. I get it. I guess I can't disrespect it in a way, but for you to continue to fail in moments where your team needs you the most, that don't sit right with me, man. Even though that's kind of disregarding what we kind of did here is focusing on this moment. Arguably, this moment, Harden's playing great, and I get that, but to me, that nasty taste is still there. I'm telling y'all right now, Harden's gonna fall apart in the playoffs. It happens all the time, no matter who's on the squad, bro. It's bound to happen again. And for me, Harden this is too many games where it seems like kind of. I think Jeremy spoke to it. It seems was it Jeremy or Mike, but whoever it was, like almost too selfish, man. Like it's all about the Harden show. Like how many times he was going out in public, to the media. I should be winning MVP instead of Curry. I should be winning MVP instead of Bron. I don't know why Bron keeps getting this shit. Why does he get all the attention? Like, bro, that's all you care about. All you care about strippers and getting recognition. You know what I mean? It's like he ain't all that for me, man. So that's kind of what it is. I don't respect Harden in any way when it comes to hooping. His game doesn't sit well with me. I hate his traveling. The free throw shit pisses me off. It ain't a game I like. You know what I mean? He thought he changed the game, and Curry ended up changing it, and he was pissed off about it. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at. But can't have him there, man. The lack of defense. The lack of defense.
I respect where y'all coming from. Harden didn't have no help, man.
Oh, here we go.
He didn't have no help.
Yes, he did, bro. Stop with the no help, man. This dude's been in multiple situations where he's right there ready to win it, man. They fell apart. I don't care that CP3 hurts his hamstring, bro. He should have came back. Game 5. Dude, what is
Game 5, Western Conference Finals.
29 straight missed threes, one game in the playoffs, bro.
Right.
Eastern Conference Finals against the that must have been the Spurs, I think.
You know, Spurs.
Go around against the Spurs.
Jeremy, why you even asking me? This man goes 3 for 21. He goes 3 for 21 with no Kawhi. It's questions answered itself. I can't put Harden in my top 10.
I just
can't do it.
He had CP3 on his last. Well, we think he was on his last leg. Clearly, CP3 isn't.
He wasn't. That's just proves my point, bro. Yeah. The fact that he really wasn't. That's it. I don't want to hear it. He wasn't on last nothing. Harden continues to fail over. He proves me wrong. Good for him.
I can agree with that.
Good for him. I don't put him in my top 10. Honestly, I swear to God, I'm to the point now. I would leave my top 5, and I can even move Brad Beal out, and I would leave 6 through 10 empty just to not put Harden in it. I'm not putting him in there. I'm not putting him in there, bro. It's not happening. It will never happen. He's out of my top 10. I hate seeing his name on your guys' list. Not gonna be there. But, yo, hey, so I think we're running out a little bit of time here, though, boys, and I think this is great. We gotta dig into some other things and another time. I think we want to get into some top 10 of all time, which I think would be dope. We'll get into some other NBA updates next week. But
hey, yo, hold on, right quick. Breaking news: Dak Prescott just signed. We can talk about that next week.
Signed with
Cowboys. 4 years,
160.
Oh wow, off the broken ankle. Much respect to him. But yo, hey, look, we're definitely gonna get into that next week and get some NFL action. Obviously, we'll have you guys here again and do our thing. But Jeremy, where can they find you, man? Where can people find you? I know you don't really have all the different social medias, but we try to tag in what we got.
Well, now, you know what? You can find me on Facebook. I'm in the OTS group, Jeremy Mills Clark. My Instagram is up. Man, I forgot what it was. So don't even worry about it.
ASAP Millsy _716. Got
Yep,
you.
there you go. You got it. Yo, you can find me on those two. And yeah, like I said, be on the lookout. Y'all gonna see me a lot more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Mike, where can they find you, my man?
Man, you can find me on IG, Confidence, Intelligence, Respect. Go copy your PLC hoodie. You can find me on Facebook, Free Me, and Big Hudson, Lil Mike. I be in the comments trolling my ass off. Don't worry about it.
Man, OTS deck collectors. We were talking about you guys the other day for the We Can Be Heroes pod. Y'all crazy. Sammy, where can they find you, brother?
Hey, so on Instagram, you can find me Sammy_OTS. Definitely want to talk about that Dak Prescott thing next week because, I fucking hate the Cowboys. So,
Oh, yeah.
can't wait to talk about that. I mean, good for him. Like, really happy for him.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't think to me, right, he's the type of quarterback, I don't think he'll ever win anything big. Carson Wentz never did either, so whatever.
That debate's over with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously next week we're gonna get right into some NFL stuff. We have free agency coming up. That's gonna be huge for a lot of teams. Salary cap.
Free agency starting what next week? Yeah,
next week they can start talking about it. I think they're gonna delay a little bit, but we can kind of get into it. A lot of teams are gonna start talking, and rumors will be out. But you guys can find me, John_OTS, on all social media platforms. You can catch us at our OTS website. I did actually just post my first article for We Can Be Heroes podcast, which is a written article I did for the WandaVision that just came out. Some more stuff coming out for Falcon and Winter Soldier, anything Marvel related, podcasts related for that.
I need to be on one of those.
Hey, you are more than welcome. Anybody's welcome on to any podcast, 100%. This goes to anybody who's watching as well. You guys come on to this and argue with us and tell us how the Lakers or the Celtics are trash and watch them argue with each other. Honestly, I just like to rouse shit up. But obviously, go ahead, check out the OTS pages. Obviously, OTS on Facebook, all the OTS on every social media platform, youtube.com, OTS Guys. Drop a subscribe. It's going to be really helpful. Obviously, thank you to everyone that got us over 100 subscribers. That's huge. Just for such a small company, it was a big accomplishment. So, we got some more fans episodes coming. But yeah, all this is coming. TSG. Peace.
Yeah.